Let's see if that works now. No. Let's see. Nope. Go live. Right, I think we're live. Let's just check my phone. Right, we are live now. Hello and welcome to the Stubzcast. I'm Stubz Gaming. I host the podcast, the Stubzcast, the Content Creator Hub podcast, where I talk to content creators from all walks of gaming, and to be honest, anything that's deemed content. I have had people who write for websites, I've had podcasters, I've had video game reviewers, I've had a multitude of different content creators, and I think it's great to get their journey, their story into content creation, and how they got started and what's their process. I think it's quite a fun thing to talk about. And this time I have got, now I reckon I might butcher your name, you have to correct me if I'm wrong. I have Mordie from Game Slush Pie. Now, did I say that correctly?
There's a long version on the website, which is my username, which is Mordie, but
Yeah.
I shortened it to Mordie so people can actually pronounce it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I was looking at your name and I thought, oh, no way am I going to be able to say that. The name you've got on Discord.
Yeah, it's a dragon character that I created back in my indie author days years ago that sort of has become my online persona.
That's cool. That's fair enough, that is. That's interesting. How did you... you just explained how you come up with that name, didn't you? You did. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's basically a fancy name. I mean, I can't even remember how I came up with the name because the character is 20 years old. So
that's fair. That is. It's better than my story. Mine's pretty boring. Just I used to be called Stubborn Word 9 on Xbox. I shortened it to Stubz Gaming. There you go. Very boring. You know, when they give you the generic name when you first get an account.
So, do you want me to start at the beginning of my gaming journey, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, where did you start gaming? I'm going to presume, because I always say it's on this show, I'm going to presume it's when you were a kid. But it may not have been.
Literally, my first concrete memory, and I am not joking, is my brother playing Empire Strikes Back for Atari 2600.
Nice.
When I was like 3 or 4, I want to say.
You're doing well to remember when you were 3 or 4. You are. You're doing very well. So.
Although I didn't start really gaming proper until probably I was 7 or 8. My brother got a SNES. Although all through those years, I watched him. We had a ColecoVision 2, which we played, and I would watch him. But I didn't myself start really playing games until probably 9 or 10. And then not really hardcore until 1996 when I got my N64. And then I went home. Then I went full blown gamer.
Yeah. What were the kind of games you liked on the N64 then? Your typical Marios and the staples, Zeldas.
The typical stuff like. Actually, funny enough, I actually own 133 N64 games, and I could go through them. But essentially, the games I like the most aren't necessarily the Marios and the Ocarinias of Time. They're like the Tetris Spheres, the Goemon's Great Adventure, Mischief Makers. Some of the lesser known stuff, Robotron 2008, Robotron 64.
Yeah.
Trying to think. There's just a lot of them. Sin and Punishment, which I actually have a reproduction cartridge of. I found some guy on Etsy who was making cartridges of Sin and Punishment, and I bought one for $50.
Oh, fair.
And it works too.
Well, at least it works. At least you weren't ripped off, scammed. That's good, though. That is.
So but don't get me wrong, I played through Ocarina of Time 3 times. So, um, and I got all 120 stars in Mario 64. So it's not like I don't like those either. And then once I got to college,
Yeah.
I was into PC gaming for a little bit, played some MMOs, and then my sophomore year of college,
Yeah.
2002, I got a GameCube.
GameCube, the little discs. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
which I played religiously. I loved F-Zero GX, Soul Calibur 2, Eternal Darkness, a lot of GameCube games. And then my junior year of college,
Yeah.
I won at my college's auction on the Xbox
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's
for
cool.
like half the price it cost in the store. So
That's real good, especially when you probably had no money anyway to afford it, which is
well,
good.
I did, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah. No.
That's relative to gaming. Um, well, actually, I had a job. Let's just say it that way. So,
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is. That is.
so anyway, um, so I played my Xbox and my GameCube through college, and then after I exited college, I started collecting the sixth generation along with the PS2.
Okay. Yeah.
Got a whole bunch. Plus, I played the DS and the PSP as well.
Oh, I remember the PSP. Yeah, that was good. That was.
Yeah, I have a gigantic PSP collection. Was ridiculous.
You're one of the sensible people, by sounds of it. You kept most of your stuff, unlike everyone else who sold it. Is that would I be correct, or you sold parts of it?
Well, no, this is kind of tragic, but my father essentially, I don't even really want to get into it.
No,
But
no, you don't
I
have
had
to.
to
You
get
don't.
rid of half my games
Mm.
out of no fault of my own. Basically, I had to leave with what I had on my back. Um, and I left stuff
Okay.
like Rule of Rose, which now goes for like $500.
Damn, does it? Wow, $500. It's crazy to think that a cartridge could cost that. You know.
And I played Rule of Rose. It sucks. I'm sorry. You can debate me on Twitter till the cows come home. That game is terrible.
It's all personal preference. I haven't played it. I don't. I've never heard of it actually. To be fair, so you just mentioned
Rule
it.
of Rose. But I did keep a game called Hunting Ground, which I managed to years later fund a broken PSP, which I sold for $250.
Wow.
Actually, I got 99. The retro store stole it for 250.
Did
So, so then once the tragedy happened, I then had
Yeah.
to rebuild my collection. I got an Xbox 360 and played that for years, and that's when I came to video game reviewing.
Oh yeah.
Because for 2 years, really 3 years, I ran there was a program called Xbox Live Indies, or
Yeah.
Xbox Indies, and basically anyone could submit a game and charge either 99 cents, $3, or $5.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and there was a range in quality from some kids programming homework to professionals who are around today.
Yeah.
But the problem was
Yeah.
there was nobody was reviewing this stuff at all.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
I took it upon myself to start a little WordPress site and review it. And I got some traction. I got a lot of views. It ended when my 360 broke. And
Oh no. Well. Oh, the red thing of death.
no,
No.
it wasn't the Red Ring of Death. It was the DVD drive broke.
Oh no. Yeah, because it really was physical media back then, weren't it?
Yeah. So the problem was I bought another one.
Yeah.
I bought another used. But the problem was in order to transfer, despite the fact all the save games were on the removable hard drive, you couldn't just pop it out and plug it in. No. At the time, you had to pay $50 for a transfer cable to hook
Oh,
the
I remember
retro
that. I remember
into
that.
it.
Yeah.
And I was so pissed off that I basically was like, screw Microsoft. So I shut down the site and bought PS3.
Okay, fair.
So I bought PS3, and then I had PS4, and then while this was going on, I rebuilt my N64 collection, started my Xbox collection, and my PSP collection. I got a Switch in 2017.
Okay.
I got my Switch. I got it with Breath of the Wild, which I love, and then all these years up until I was building my collection, because near where I worked at the time there was a
Yeah.
retro store.
Nice.
So literally, I drive 5Gs at that store, and they knew me on a first name basis.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Good.
Shout out to Cartridges Galore in Frederick, Maryland. Anyway,
Yeah.
So then that's pretty much just retro collecting and playing my Switch up until 2022. No, I'm sorry, 2021. I got my Series X. I don't know how I managed to score this one. I logged on to Best Buy's website on
Yeah.
a Sunday at 8 a.m. and I checked out, and I got their financing program. And I
Oh,
didn't think
yeah. Was that the Xbox one, or was that their financing plan?
no, that's Xbox Systems One Bank.
Okay.
That's their all access financing deal.
Oh, the All That. Yeah, the All That. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, which was nice, which is why I got it as opposed to the PS5, because I could afford it. Plus, at start around that time, my Xbox collection was really getting huge, so I needed the backwards compatibility. So I went with the Series X, and then fast forward to September last year, I decided to start the Switch website for a couple of reasons.
Okay. Yeah.
One, in addition to gaming, I'm a politics and current events junkie, but it's just so nasty out there and so depressing that I need something to take my mind off current events. So I decided to start reviewing lesser known Switch games, the
Okay.
ones that don't have reviews for them.
Is there actually games that don't ever get reviewed? I did not know that.
Yeah, they are, and they're the games that I will be discussing shortly.
Yeah.
These shovelware titles, basically, or basically those indie Switch games that don't have any marketing budget whatsoever behind them.
Yeah, there is a lot on the Switch, isn't there? There is. It's like it's the same as Steam. Steam's got thousands upon thousands, and obviously a lot of studios don't have marketing budgets. They just haven't got the money, and some of them are just one guy. They don't really have the finances to do it. So it is good people do review some of these games.
Yeah, and I don't. And a lot of these developers are hard to track down. So I spend most I just spend the money. Like I'm not big enough. I wasn't big enough at that point in order to get the keys. Now I'm beginning to get keys. Um,
That's good. It shows that they're seeing your work and they're liking it, and they're giving you keys now, which is, you got to think about it. It is a great honour to get a code to review, because it means obviously they've either been looking at your website and liking the reviews you're putting out, and you're getting some traction by developers. So
right.
you got to take it as a compliment as well. You have.
I do.
Yeah.
And I've struck up a friendship with a guy named Joshua Michael French, who's the big wig at East Asia Soft.
Nice.
and he's the guy who does all their lewd stuff, which we will
Okay.
talk about.
Okay.
And he helps me get the keys for East Asia Soft.
That's
and
good.
other developers. I've gotten keys from Ocean Media, although I don't review much of their games because they tend to be repetitive. Like once you review one hidden object game, you've pretty much reviewed every single one.
Okay.
Or one solitaire game, you tend to review them all.
Oh yeah, my wife's been playing solitaire games on mobile recently. I don't know why. She started playing them. I don't know why, but she just has. But yeah, just do a couple of shout outs. There's a couple of people in the chat. Welcome and thanks Mike P for letting us know you can hear us. And also welcome to Masuku and Dreadpool. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, thanks for that. You can carry on there if you want.
So, I will eventually start going to Press Engine and get keys that way. I mean, I've been on Press Engine for a while, but I just didn't have the views or the website or the website look to be impressive enough to get keys.
It's a nice looking site, I think. Well, because I've only viewed it in mobile view currently. I haven't actually looked on the PC, but if it looks nice on the mobile, it's obviously going to look nice on the desktop. I don't know the difference, but I think it's a nice looking website. I don't know. I don't know how to program. So did you program that yourself, or did?
Oh no.
Is it a template jobby? Does it basically do it for you, or?
No, I have a web developer, and I found her funnily enough.
Okay.
Her name's Kayla Jones. Shout out to you. You're awesome. Anyway, so I basically posted on Twitter the magic words. I need a graphic designer.
Oh no, my mate Daz. He doesn't.
Hundreds of people.
Yeah, my mate UK Dazarus. Yeah, he doesn't even ask for them, and he must have blocked over 100, 150, and they keep coming for his account, and he doesn't want any.
Yeah, it's like they're all bots.
It looks like it.
Good guys.
Yeah.
I wish I could hire them all, but she was the only one that had an actual resume. And so I hired her, and she's been great. Really, she is.
That's nice.
And and so we started with a simple site, and over time we've been adding to it as the needs change.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a nice looking site, and I'm happy with it.
It is, because it's a lot more. It's my opinion. It's a lot more challenging and scary as such, because it's not like, well, this podcast is live on YouTube. I put it on podcast networks after, and it's there. But you've actually gone out, created your own website, and doing all the. Obviously, you've had help from a web designer. There's more. Do you see what I mean? This is on. You really are there. You're more involved. Whereas YouTube, you just put it there, and if it's already on a built platform, you're on a totally new. It's your website, your web address. You've got to get people to click on it. It's a lot more of a challenge as such. It is.
Oh, it's very challenging, especially because I'm at the mercy of Google.
Yes, the bloody SEO. Yes.
So I have to write things in a very specific way. Like I have to repeat the name of the game several times, but not too much, because if you overemphasize, it downranks you. It's kind of, I don't know how to put it. It's almost, I don't like it because I'm not writing for the reader. I'm writing for an algorithm.
Yeah, it's so annoying, because there's like, well, you see it with mainstream websites. They literally, well, I'll just say it. Some of the big websites, clickbait, And people think, oh, it's just to get the clicks, but often it's to trigger the algorithm. And then sometimes you read the article and it ain't actually about what's in the title. But they're just all they're trying to do is trigger the algorithm. But yeah, you are at the mercy of Google SEO. It's not a fair place because all the people with money and know exactly what they're doing are getting top search rank results. It's
Yeah, that's what pretty much
and,
what
and it's
happened.
always changing. Is it apparently? Is that right? Is it always changing
Yeah, it's always changing.
every so often?
Always, it's always changing. It's all like, and one change could basically sink your entire site.
Oh, it's terrible. It is. It's yeah. It
Out of 200 and something articles I've written so far, only two have gotten serious hits from Google. One was called the Wolf Simulator, which was
wolves.
a garbage title. I don't know how it got high ranked on Google, but I got mega hits on that one. And
Nice.
then another one was called Aero Blast, which was a somewhat popular mobile game. So I think it had cross. I think it came up when you searched for Aero Blast.
Yeah, they may have done. Yeah.
But I do get hits. I do get hits off DuckDuckGo, Bing too as well.
Yeah, yeah. I use Bing obviously for my Microsoft reward points. I always get my searches in on there. But yeah, it's nice. You can see where the traffic comes from in
Right.
depth. In depth. See on YouTube, it shows you a little bit, but often it puts this came off a website. It doesn't go. This came. You've got more in depth. You know exactly where they came from, like Bing. But like YouTube doesn't tell you that this person clicked on Bing to get to your video. See what I mean? You don't get that. You
No, you
don't.
don't.
But you've got more eyes on your analytics of where your traffic's coming from. Do you get a lot from Bing, or did you get more from Google? Because Google's, like
There,
number one.
there are downsides to having your own platform,
Yeah.
namely that it costs a fair bit of money.
Oh yeah, hosting charge. Is it hosting charges, website domains,
Yeah,
security? I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing you pay for. I don't know.
what?
Security? Do you have to pay for security?
Well,
Is that done?
I'm on WordPress.com, so
Oh,
that comes
okay.
with it.
Fair.
Um, but every plugin now for WordPress charges you.
That's the way of making money then. That is.
And in order to get plugins on WordPress.com, you have
Yeah.
to pay an awful lot of money per year for their business plan. But the nice thing about hosting on WordPress.com is I don't have to worry about bandwidth because when you have traditional hosting, like because I've hosted websites on GoDaddy, they
Oh,
will
okay.
say your hosting plan is 10,000 viewers a month, or 5 gigabytes transfer, something like that.
Yeah.
WordPress, I don't have to worry about that because it's WordPress, but they still pay. You're still paying through the nose.
Oh, okay. So, say one day, say you're on GoDaddy, and your limit was 10,000, but like, say your your review or page really popped. So say a million people tried to hit on your site. Would your site go down? Like a
Honestly, I've never hit it, so I don't know. What I
no.
think they do is
It
basically
was just a stupid. I don't mean million. Say you went over that cap. Do you think your site would go offline? Well, what do they do in that situation?
they probably charge you an awful lot of money.
That's probably it. You're probably right there. But luckily, WordPress. So WordPress is say you could say say you had 10,000 hits. It doesn't matter because it's on WordPress. It's fine.
Right.
So it's basically like nearly unlimited bandwidth, basically.
And private hosting has gotten so much that there's really no difference between hosting on something like GoDaddy versus hosting on WordPress.
Oh,
It's
okay.
going to cost you the same amount.
That's fair because it's
And the other, sorry, what were you
sorry.
gonna say?
Sorry, you go ahead. Sorry.
The other thing I was gonna say is that I'm a lot more freer with what I can say on my own website versus YouTube.
Yeah.
Um, because YouTube can just kick you right off for any reason they feel like it.
I
Now
haven't.
I'm sure. Now I'm sure that somewhere in WordPress's ELUA is the same thing, but it's not. You know, I have yet to hear somebody getting kicked off WordPress. I hear like every other day somebody getting kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, I don't imagine WordPress have got an AI or whatever you call it scanning all the websites. Whereas Google, so YouTube, have got every video that gets uploaded is automatically scanned. Oh, but to be fair, in all my podcasts, I've never muzzled anyone. And I've never got kicked off. I'm too small, you see. Do you know what I mean? But
Well,
nothing, but nothing ever gets said racially or anything like that. But
no, because it's not.
but I do let people say what they want. But no one ever says anything that extreme as such. But I see what you mean. It is people. You can lose your YouTube account by mistake as well. Their algorithms are all clever in that, but they have actually like suspended people's accounts by mistake, and it can take months for an actual human to review it. Because I know someone it's happened to. It can take months of appealing, and the appeal's been done by an algorithm or a bot, and then eventually a human reviews. Oh, sorry, that was an error. Your account's restored. See, so yeah, yeah. I've never really heard that on WordPress happen before. I'm sure probably if people were, what the world's like now, people would be reporting on it, complaining about it, wouldn't they?
Well, it's not like I'm hosting hate content or something, you know. Although funnily enough, I'm on a Discord for a guy named Switch Stars.
Okay.
Um, he's a YouTuber, and I'm on his Discord, and he actually got a DCMA claim by a shovelware company called Midnight Works, who tried to take him down.
Did he write? Did he make a bad review on their game or something?
Yeah, he made a whole video on it.
Right, that
And
seems a bit childish to me. That does.
yeah, it was completely childish, and they basically DCMA'd a fair use video on it. YouTube basically laughed in Midnight Works' face, but again, it's not going to happen to me unless they go directly to WordPress, and WordPress is probably going to tell them to, you know, screw off.
Exactly. They probably also say, "Have you seen how many views this page has got? Are you really worried?" Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Unless it's hitting millions upon millions. Do you know what I mean?
Although I do have to worry about Google because
Ah, yeah,
try,
true. Yeah.
you try to black hat shady shady SEO tactics, they'll delist you, and at that point you're practically dead.
Yeah, I don't know how companies do it. I don't. Some clever people or software out there working it out. What you can do, what you can't do. I don't know. I imagine that there's people whose job it is just to try and get the right SEO. That
Oh
must
yeah,
be.
I could pay an a SEO like a high level SEO person to basically make my site, rise to the top. But A, I don't have the money, and B, I there's ways you can do it yourself. I use a plugin called Yoast SEO.
When I used to work for, well, not work, I used to do a couple of reviews years ago for BG4G Hub. They don't do any content anymore, but that's the plugin they had. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to please. It wasn't. But
They weren't the
I
please. It was
struggled to get
really,
a green mark at the end. I struggled. So writing's
well, no,
not my strong point.
I can get a green mark easily. It's just a question of is it enough for Google's attention, which is
Exactly.
why I tend to focus on the lesser known titles because I'm gonna get buried by bigger sites.
Yeah, that's true. The IGNs basically you're talking about. That's who
Right.
buries everyone. That
Yeah.
is.
So basically, I basically focus on the games most people aren't going to touch, like the lewd stuff, like your Croco block knockers, your waifu discovered too, your slime girl smoothies. I mean, people do cover that stuff, but not to the same extent I do. Like I have to give them a fair shake and a fair review. Uh, but most self-respecting reviewers are not gonna touch them.
No, that's fair. That is fair. I'll just do a couple of shout outs. A few more people have came in. Welcome to Fimber. Thanks for popping in, mate. And Lost Boomer. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, it's quite an interesting on the side because obviously when I've had people on the show before, when they write for websites, they are not in the position you're in. It's not generally their website as such, so they're not on that end. They're just writing reviews or they're working for the site. Whereas you see the bills and you know what's going on behind the SEO, etc. Because it's your website.
And I've always,
Okay.
because I'm autistic and because I'm not the easiest to work with sometimes, I tend to just do things on my own because, I've, I'm not going to mention names, but let's just say I burned bridges, um, just being myself. And
It happens. The problem is it's the gaming community is hard to. There's a lot. You make a lot of good friends in the gaming community, but not everyone's going to like everyone, and it's just the way it is. There is within the gaming community. There's niches within niches within niches, but most people don't see it. But it's there. But it's a friendly community. But it's like you say, not everyone's going to like you, and they don't have to. If you know what I
no, they
mean,
don't have
you
to, and
know.
I don't have to deal with them. And frankly, to tell you
Yeah,
the truth, the particular niche I'm in,
yeah.
I don't. We can segue into this topic because basically, I don't get fanboys attacking me. I'm sort of safe
That's great. That is great because it happens
because
all the
I don't
time.
get fanboys of these horrible shovelware games.
Hang on. Wait a minute. There is fanboys of the shovelware games.
No, there aren't.
Oh, there ain't. I've got to say, sorry. I,
I don't get fanboys of these games because they don't
yes.
exist.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I just thought you meant there are fanboys.
I,
Sorry.
I, it probably, if there were, it could probably get my name out there, but there aren't. I've never gotten a negative comment on one of my reviews, mostly because there's no goal keeping
That's
for
true.
something like Midnight Works.
That's true. That is. It's good that you don't because it's all that kind of back and forth and arguments can be quite. It can be not good for your health and get you down and stuff again, but it can be more. Yeah, I don't generally get into the fanboy stuff anymore. I don't engage with a lot of it anymore on Twitter. I've kind of stopped for a while. I have, but yeah, it's not part of your niche anyway. It's not, but
No, like maybe for some of the more popular indie titles I do, but they're rare. I definitely when I did the Xbox indie stuff, I got fanboys, um, and they were generally I like there was this one Minecraft clone. I forgot its name. It's been a decade.
oh, okay.
Essentially, it came up with a bunch of fanboys who defended it, even though the game was completely terrible.
There was tons of Minecraft clones at the time, and then they were terrible. A lot of them were.
There were some good ones like
Yeah,
Miner Dig Deep, but most of them just aren't Minecraft because they don't have the it's Minecraft basically is all I can say. Um, but and then
Mike P is saying Discovery is one I played. I think I presume that means a Minecraft clone. Discovery.
yeah, um, So, so anyway, sorry, that got me off track. What were we talking about?
But somehow I got onto Minecraft clones because
Oh yeah,
there were some
Minecraft.
fanboys. There
So
was.
anyway, so anyway, going back, the other group of fanboys, there was a game called I Made a Game with Zombies in it, and it was the #1 rated Xbox indie game. But not because it was any good,
But
but
it was.
because it went viral on the internet. Everyone just just upvoted it, and I got some fanboys for that one. And it wasn't a very good zombie twin stick shooter. Heck, it wasn't even the best. It was heck. There were better zombie twin stick shooters on Xbox Indies. There were so many zombie twin stick shooters at
Yeah.
that time that I basically swore them off because they were all the same.
Yeah, that's the problem when it gets saturated. Everyone wants to copy. It's not a good.
And
It's
that,
not a good. It's not a good thing. You got to innovate, copy, as that's part of game design. Copy, but innovate. Do your own twist on it.
yeah, and that gets into my review philosophy. Basically, I don't review like most people. Like an IGN will go, okay, here's the gameplay, here's the graphics, here's the sound,
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
here's the lasting appeal, here's your number. I basically take it all together and I basically ask the question, does the game do what it sets out to be? Basically, if the game wants to be a breakout clone, how good is it as a breakout clone? I don't care about your graphics. I don't care about your sound. Gameplay is king because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Um, I don't care about frame rate. I don't care about performance unless it's noticeable. Slow down, but basically, how good is your game gameplay wise? Is it innovative? Does it, if it's the same as everything else, it's going to get a harsher score than if it's actually try something new. So,
Yeah,
uh,
that's a
so
good. That's a
then,
good way of doing things. That is a very different. That is
yeah.
because
So
you've got to be different, haven't you, to stand out or try to stand out. You have.
well, I do it because a lot of these games there isn't anything much to talk about. The graphics are simple. The sounds bought from Kevin MacLeod or whatever his name is. They're essentially freeware music,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and all I have to go on is the gameplay. So that's why I review it that way, and it works. And the other thing, differentiation, is
Yeah.
the verdict system. I have an arbitrary star system on the site, but
Okay.
it's merely for aggregation within um, within Google. Mainly, I have 6 verdicts.
Okay.
The best one is must play. Basically means run out and buy this thing. It's great. The next is
Okay.
recommended. Basically, play this game. It's good. It's a good game.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily going to give it a must play, but you still should play. Then the next one is your mileage may vary, which is basically my admission that I'm a person with a personal bias. So even though
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so even though I may not like a particular game, you might enjoy it. I don't, because
Yeah.
I just don't like this type of game. But I still can recognize it's a good game. And then the next one is not recommended, which is sort of for those mediocrity titles that aren't particularly terrible, but aren't worth playing either. And then is the big one, garbage, which
Garbage.
is basically
That
the
made me.
bottom barrel, bottom tier, just garbage stuff. Like, do not play these games. Um, and then the sixth one, I've only given to 3 games in my site's history. Um, Mini Car Racer, Martial Knight, and a game called Flannel Amethyst.
Okay.
And they are so bad, so inept that you just gotta love them. Like you just can't hate them. Like a lot of heart went into these games. They're just inept. Like I'll give you an example of Martial Knight. Martial Knight is essentially I will post on my YouTube. I will post on at GameSlushPie on Twitter after the show.
Yeah.
The Martial Knight link. And what basically Martial Knight is, it's basically a kung fu training program where you stand in front of the TV and do the moves. Except there's no training. There's nothing there. It's just basically a bunch of 3D animated characters doing the moves, and that's it. And they expect you to do it. I mean, obviously, it was a great idea, just horrible execution.
Yeah, they just left a few bits out, didn't they? They forgot to do that. They got too excited about releasing a game.
Back. Hold on a sec. I will post it now while we're talking.
Yeah, thanks for popping in, Sergeant Sentinel Gaming. I've noticed you dropped in the chat. Cheers for popping in. Fimber, Mike P. Mike P said games have got to be fun. Well, that's definitely true. Games have got to be fun, or would you lose interest?
Actually, I could pop into YouTube. Hold on.
Hang on a minute. The YouTube, it doesn't let you post links.
It doesn't?
No, unless I post it, or one of my mods posts it.
I will just post it on my Twitter. It's at Game Slush Pile.
Okay, hang on. Just find it. You post it, and I'll put it in a link for people in the chat.
I post it on my Twitter feed, so you'll see it.
There we go. Right, copy. Right, YouTube. Yeah. There we go, people. If you want to have a look at that in chat, if you're on your PCs, have a quick look at that. It's Martial Knight.
Yeah, like I said, the heart's there. Just I don't know what they were doing. It just I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, that's basically my.
Oh, what's the worst one? It got hilariously awful.
Yeah, it's one of the only 3 games that got it because there's very few games that have that heart that are just that bad. Like most of them are in the frame of, which is really the reason I came on this podcast, was to warn people about the shovelware. And there's an awful lot of it, and they're all from basically 5 companies, all interlinked. The main one is Midnight Works, and they're a holding company.
Yeah.
Various other companies. And they own a company called InstaShop, which runs the second one. Insta Marketing and Games is another one. And then the third one is one called Desvault Games, which are an independent publisher that Midnight Works promotes their stuff. And then there's VG Games, which is a separate publisher and development company.
Yeah.
Who has a connection to the 5th one called Go Game Console Publisher. Sorry, it's all confusing. But essentially, Midnight Works, Insta Marketing Game, VG Games, Desvault Games, and Go Game Console Publisher. If you see any of those 5 publishing the game, run. Just don't even buy it. Because you're guaranteed to get a crappy game.
Yeah,
now, to be fair, sometimes these companies find a broken clock is right twice a day. So sometimes these companies post decent stuff. It is very rare. And when I do, I make sure to shout them out for it. But it's not often.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't sound good anyway. It doesn't. But at least you shout them out when they do make a good game.
Yeah, like Midnight Works presented a game called Midnight Runner. VG Games had something called Stack Tower. Instant Marketing Game had something called Falling Elevator. These are all on my site if you want to find them. But
yeah,
I'm not going to take the time to go. I mean, because there are a lot of them. So, but anyway, so but really, these 5 companies post most of the scam titles, and you can all tell them, and they all have the same MO. They have the SEO title like Jail Simulator, Prison Life, Gang Battle 1994, or something like that. And then their screenshots will always lie. They are never in-game footage. Or if they are, they are photoshopped. And then the marketing blurb is always just a bunch of BS. It's like, oftentimes it's not written in good English. It's just written in English, and just isn't true. I will post an example for you to post in YouTube. Something called Wash Simulator, and what Wash Simulator is a direct ripoff of
Wash Simulator.
A direct ripoff of Power Wash Simulator. Here, can I just post this in general chat and then you just post it on YouTube?
Wash Simulator.
Yeah, the link.
I've found it on your site, so I will post it for you.
It's the latest one, so
yeah,
that's why I brought it up, because it's easy to find.
Here we go.
So it's literally a direct ripoff. The name is the same. The marketing blurb, the title photograph has somebody in it, the power washer. They have similar missions, except it's terrible. Like, it's just garbage. And I bought Power Wash Simulator concurrent to Wash Simulator to combine the two, and I'm still playing Power Wash Simulator 3 days later.
That's fair.
It's that damn good.
Yeah, I'm not too good at that. My wife can play it, but I'm not very good at them kind of games. I get frustrated. It's all they're having to be perfect and line up and wash it. I'm like, no, screw this.
I don't know.
People say it's therapeutic. It's not therapeutic for me. It annoys me.
That's perfectly fine. Believe me. Would you believe me if I told you I never played a Call of Duty game or a Battlefield game in my life?
I can believe you. I don't play them anymore. I used to many moons ago, but not anymore. But I do believe them. There are people out there, but it shocks a lot of people. If you were to say that on it's like my friend BMG. I don't know if you know him, but he's never played a racing game. And no one believes him. He's no interest in them. He drives for a living, but he has no interest in playing car games.
No,
he hasn't.
I have no interest in playing multiplayer competitive shooters. They're just not my thing.
That's fair, But
I tried playing Warframe for a while.
Yeah.
Eventually, I just said, you know what? I told my guild, I'm like, look, this just ain't for me. Goodbye. And that was the end of my playing Warframe.
That's fair. You try to you play what you like playing. Not everyone's gonna like the same thing, because if everyone liked the same thing, it'd be boring the world, wouldn't it? It would.
My gaming interest is large swath, but I like puzzle games. I like strategy games.
Nice.
I own like pretty much every Paradox game for the PC.
Okay. Yeah.
Like Civilization King, um, Hearts. I don't have Hearts of Iron, but I have Stellaris and stuff like that. And then
Okay.
puzzle games, which you can notice because most of my reviews are puzzle games.
Yeah.
And which helps because they're the ones that don't tend to get any reviews in the first place.
Yeah, it still fascinates me that some games don't get any reviews. It's mind-boggling to me.
But even
Because
the good ones, even the top puzzlers don't get any coverage unless it's like a Tetris. But I mean, the
yeah,
thing about puzzles, I mean, the genre has really taken off on mobile, but I do not, as a general rule, touch mobile games on mobile because they're not free, and
yeah,
most of
that's
the time
they
they're
love
not
the
even games.
they love the microtransactions. They
Yeah.
love them.
And there are several games I have reviewed. Aeroblast is one of them. That they basically took the mobile game, stripped out the microtransactions, and put it on the Switch. And it basically destroyed the game because the game was built around microtransactions. So
Yeah,
without microtransactions, the game grinds to a halt.
well, yeah. Unless what they could have done is put a sandbox mode in that you have unlimited money and unlimited funds, but they didn't think about that, did they? Obviously.
Yeah. I'm gonna, if you can find Aeroblast, I'm going to post it in the general chat.
Have a look.
There we go. I found it. I posted it in general chat.
Let's do it.
Just be aware, this is kind of a lootish game, but
Oh, right, I see where you right, general chat, I see. Right. Let's go on to YouTube, on the actual YouTube. I was doing it on my phone, but I'll click on that, press pause. There's the chat. That's much better. I'll do it from there now. There we go. That's a much better review. There we go. Oh, it's one of these games. Oh, playful pack, spicy pack. Oh,
yeah.
it's one of them. A dating sim thing. These Japanese games. There's hundreds of them. Like it.
Yeah.
There is.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of lewd dating sims on Switch, but I'm not a big fan of visual novels. Mostly because if I want to read a novel, I go read a book.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they're just not generally as well written as books. And I say that snobbish, having written 6 novels in my life, but you know, I'm just not a big fan of visual novels.
You've written 6. You've written novels. Have they been released?
Yeah. I was an indie author from 2011 to 2013.
Nice. Wow. I did not know you.
I published several books.
You've got a decent.
I'm not going. I mean, a lot of these books aren't for sale anymore because I took them offline. So I'm not.
I just think it's fascinating that you've released books. That's pretty cool. That is. To be fair, that is. You're a published author as well. Not you do it now, but you did it, didn't you?
Yeah, the reason I don't do it now is because I get more views on my website than I do through my books. Like, I can post a review and get 100 readers reading that review. I spend hundreds of hours writing a 70,000 word novel.
Yeah.
It only sells 10 copies.
Yeah, it's a must. Yeah, books are. I don't know how you do well in making books. I don't know. But the internet's free. Well, it's not free, but you have to pay your bills. But still, anyone can access it. They can.
Yeah, I lost my shirt basically publishing books, and that's why I don't do it anymore. Even though I'm sitting on several recently written. I'm sitting actually on a finished vampire novel that I haven't published because I have the money to market it, but it's not going to sell enough to make back what I spent on it.
No,
Maybe once I grow to such a size with the Game Slush Pile, I will go back to publishing because I will have a built-in base then. But for now, I'm focusing on my site.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I can imagine it's hard being a making writing books anyway. I mean, were you good at writing at school, or is it a thing you developed over when you in your adulthood? Because I'm terrible at writing. I am.
Kid fiction, I had short stories I wrote in high
Oh,
school,
that's nice. That is.
but I didn't start writing fiction until my senior year of college, and I was terrible because I was a philosophy and religion double major. So I had written essays for 4 years, and my fiction sounded like essays.
Oh,
So I
okay.
basically had to unlearn everything I had learned about
Oh,
writing and basically
okay.
start over.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you obviously got a passion for it because you're still writing them, even though you don't really want to release them.
yeah,
So
I still write.
it's obviously a hobby of yours you enjoy. It
Oh, I
is.
enjoy. Oh, I love writing and creating worlds. There's no point in spending time in it because I'm just not going to get the benefit from it. No one's going to. I might have one person read it. And most people who buy books never finish them.
Yeah, I'm criminal of that. Yeah, I've got a book
So
out in a
I'm
minute. I
criminal of
need to
that
finish.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk to most avid readers. They have a pile of books 100 deep, and they will never get around to it.
Same with gamers.
Oh yeah. Now, which brings us to the next topic, my retro collection. Currently on GameEye, shout out to them,
Yeah, I've heard
GameEye.
of that. I've heard of that. This way, is it an app that you can log all your games you've got?
Yeah, basically that's exactly what it is. It's an app where you log all your games, and according to them, it's not exhaustive, but I've logged 720 games on it.
That's
And
a fair size. That is. That's quite a few shelves.
yeah, well, basically all my CDs are in binder. People are you know go back in horror when they uh, when they hear this. But
Right,
I live in a,
it saves on
I live in a,
storage space, definitely.
I don't have I basically all the boxes are in my bedroom closet, and all the CDs are in a binder.
God, if people could hear this at my name retro, they'd be screaming in horror. No, what are they doing? What are you doing?
That way, I don't have this display space.
That's
I
fair.
don't have a designated game room that I could just pile, display, 500 Xbox games. It's just not going to happen. So, everything's are either in drawers or in binders, and it makes it easier for me to select something to play because I don't have to go on the wall and then look and then take it out. I just go in the binder, find it, take it out, and then put it back. Um, but yeah, I own. Let's see, I own, as I mentioned earlier, I have. Hold on, I have a I have a hold on, I'm getting my Game Eye app on my phone. Hold on.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if I had a video setup, people, you'd be able to see all sorts, but I don't have a video setup yet for
Yeah,
this. For
so
this, unfortunately.
right now I have 724, and the report. Okay, I have 118 PSP games,
Nice.
134 N64 games.
Yeah.
Um, then I have 151 OG Xbox,
Damn.
215 Xbox 360, 87 Xbox One, and 7 Xbox Series X. And then it says I have 12 Switch, but I have closer to like 20 or 30. I just haven't put them all in. Um, so, yeah.
So
So
there's a sizable collection. Most people haven't got physical anymore. That's a
yeah,
sizable collection, that is.
well, it's a sizable collection, and I do it because a lot of these games, there's no other way to play them. Like my favorite game is called Death Row, and it's for the OG Xbox, and it only sold 50,000 copies, and it was published
Okay.
by Ubisoft.
Yeah,
And look it up. It's Death Row, one word, and it's an
Death
amazing
Row.
sports game. Absolutely spectacular. Still plays great to this day. Um, but it's not going to show up on Xbox. It's not going to get Xbox backwards compatibility. So there's one way I'm going to play it, and that's with physical. Um, so I collect these physical games because a lot of this stuff ain't going to be here.
Was
You know,
there Oh, it's a bit strange. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. I found it. It was first released in 22nd of October 2002.
yeah,
South
and
End Interactive by and publisher Ubisoft.
it's a great game, and I suggest people find it.
It's
But
got a cool cover.
yeah,
You
it
know.
has a guy that looks like Vin. Well, that's what partially why it failed is because it had Vin Diesel on the cover of it, and it doesn't tell people what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't really say what it is.
It doesn't really say what it is, and honestly, if it had gotten a sequel with Xbox Live, it would be among the upper echelon of gaming, but it never got one. And it just came out just before Xbox Live, so it
It,
wasn't Xbox Live enabled.
it says though it's on Wikipedia. It's got multiplayer, but
Yeah, but
if
it's not. It has multiplayer, just not Xbox Live.
oh, okay, I get it.
No, it has multiplayer. I played multiplayer with people, um, but it's a really good game. But that's just an example of. I mean, I'll give another one that I don't own that I had at one time. I really don't know what happened to this one. Eternal Darkness for GameCube. Amazing game. Absolutely one of the best survival horror titles of all time. Nintendo has not re-released it, and we have absolutely no idea why. Um, Same thing with F-Zero GX. Like GameCube is really expensive to collect for because there's a lot of good games on it that Nintendo could re-release, but for some reason they don't.
Strange because Nintendo they know what games sell. Obviously, got the Zeldas. But they could do it.
They could do
Maybe
it.
there's a reason for it. I don't know, but
They
mm,
could. I
yeah.
mean, F-Zero X is out for the N64 channel on your NSO. There's no reason they can't have a GameCube channel um, with Eternal Darkness, F-Zero GX. Um, Not yeah, it's GX, and like Mario Kart Double Dash. There's no reason they can't do it. There's just no will to do it. Now, to be fair, with game preservation, a lot of the problems with Nintendo products is they're for systems that are not easily emulated. In the sense, like the dual screen, the Nintendo DS has two screens and a touch screen. It's not that easy to, you know, emulate it in a sense.
No, it's not. It's almost everyone talks about game preservation, but Xbox talks a big talk about game preservation when Xbox's whole idea and narrative ever since they've created Game Pass is to push people to being fully digital, and that has been it. They talk about game preservation, but they are pushing people towards their idea is. And to be fair, I'm fully digital now. I am, with regards to new consoles, PC. Well, PC's been digital for a long time, but they they talk about game preservation, but they're all about pushing digital. You see, they want Game Pass to work to the degree where everyone's digital. I'll probably say, I might be wrong, but I'd say probably Xbox is probably 80% digital globally. But I might be wrong. I know in the UK it's heavy because you probably see it. I don't see it anymore because I've muted and blocked people, but you always see, because the UK is tiny compared to America. We're probably 60 million population to probably 70. I don't know the exact figures anymore, but we're a tiny little island in the world. But people keep bringing up our physical sales charts up as reasons games ain't selling. Like you'll find games that say like 20,000 and stuff, and it sounds tiny, but what people don't realise is everyone's probably, in my guess, downloading it through the stores and buying it through digital, not physical. But they love to bring up the UK physical sales charts. Like like on the map, we're like a little dot. We're tiny, you know. But
doing it because we can get into console warring.
Yeah, let's not get into console warring, but that's what it's about.
I'm not getting into console warring. I don't have a particular. As far as I'll say about console warring, is we've lost. At least I can speak as a United States guy.
Yeah,
we've lost patriotism. We've lost religion, and so what do guys cling to? They cling to plastic boxes made by mega corporations.
Yep. Exactly, megacorps.
Like bred in circuses. It's completely ridiculous. And these guys are my age. They're 40 years old.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with your life?
I'll be there in 2 years. I'm 38.
So you and I are basically saying similar generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like guys our age are sitting there, being absolutely nasty to each other over console warring, and it's like, who cares? It's like, they don't care about you.
They do not care. They just care about getting the money off you, and that's it. That's all they care. Whether it's a subscription or whether it's just buying the game, either way, they'll get your money. They will.
And Microsoft is not your friend. They used to be very anti-consumer, especially towards the end of the 360 into the Xbox One days. What sunk the Xbox One was when they
the DRM.
Yeah, with the DRM, and they wanted you to that basically sunk the Xbox One.
It did.
And they've never been able to recover.
They haven't.
But that's why they had to take the pro-consumer stance, because that's the only thing they have left.
Exactly. It's all Game Pass. Game Pass is incredible value. Do not get me wrong.
I love Game Pass.
But I say it's incredible value because I still get it for free. I do Microsoft Rewards. I haven't actually paid for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if I played, I could probably do Microsoft Rewards for Game Pass if I played my Xbox enough. But
see, that's not exactly true, because you can do Microsoft Search Mobile, Bing. I play Gears of War on the Xbox once a day. I play probably one match multiplayer, if that, a day, and that racks me up about 300 Microsoft points. I can get about 500 plus points a day. I can, without actually playing the Xbox. And then you've got the Microsoft Rewards app on the console. I have problems with this at the minute due to me moving to a new internet provider, but I have to log in on my Xbox on my mobile data because it seems to think my internet's not in England, even though I've asked Microsoft support. All the tests show that it is where my internet is, where it says it is in England, and exact around the location, but they are baffled as to why the Xbox keeps telling me, the specific Microsoft app, that it is the location and the language is wrong. So I just use my mobile data to log into that. I have to flick my Wi-Fi off and flick the mobile data on to do it. But $2 trillion company, can't work it out.
Yeah, don't even get me started on Nintendo and their anti-consumer policies.
But no, anyway, let's where were we going? We were going to where were we going?
Oh, we were going to console warring, basically talking about how Microsoft wasn't your friend.
Yeah, no one really is your friend. Not really.
No, Nintendo's not your friend.
No, Nintendo, they just know how to market and sell it well. They do incredibly well. They're geniuses.
They're geniuses, but they're game developers. But whoever runs their legal department are just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Remember, up to a couple of years ago, you couldn't make Nintendo content without giving a slice of it to Nintendo.
Yeah.
With the Creators Club until the outcry got so bad, and I think they realized they're missing out on free advertising.
Exactly. So like the thing like Sega have a policy that if fans want to do, they found a lot of the old Dreamcast games and Saturn games, there is people out there that actually rework them. They make them better. They offer the downloads. They make English version. Honestly, people have made new versions of games, and Sega are absolutely fine with it. People put on ODA. Sega's only rule is you monetize it, and we'll come for you. If you give away free to the fans, it's totally cool with us. But as long as you don't monetize it, Sega are absolutely fine with it. They're very pro. They're
from Sega's position.
Yeah, Sega are fine with it. They are very pro fan, but they said anyone who monetizes it, then their legal department will come for you. But if you give away free to the fan base and all the fans, it's all good. They're fine with that. They are, which is nice. That is.
Nintendo's the complete opposite, or was.
Yeah, Nintendo's bigger than Sega, though. Do you know what I mean?
Nintendo's bigger than Sega, but I can't tell you the number of fan projects that got shut down.
It's a shame, though. It is. It is. It is a shame. It is. But
so I guess we're coming towards the latter part. Are there people in chat? Do they have any questions for me?
Yeah. Has anyone got any questions for our esteemed guest, Mordie? If anyone is still in there, we get a lot of people listening after the fact as well. A lot of people. Have you got any questions, Masuku? If you're still in there, and Mike P. Is he a friend of yours? I've never seen Mike P before. He just appeared today.
Mike P, I think is Mike P. Yeah, it's probably from Nindy Nexus.
Oh, nice. Thanks for popping in, Mike. But I don't know if anyone's got any questions at all.
No, but we can stay for another 5-10 minutes.
But yeah, it's been interesting. As I've learned a lot about your side of the website because it's a perspective I've never had before. Because you see the SEO, you see the financial side, that perspective which I've never been able to get from someone really before, as such, as in depth before to that degree.
Well, when most people talk about content creators, you and I had this discussion back when I voiced interest on coming over what is a content creator, because when most people talk about content, at least on X or Twitter, they're referring to YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah, see, I deem a content creator anyone who makes content, be it reviews, even articles online, because it's all content. That's what you got to think about. Content creation, because people do. You are right. They just say, "Oh well, content creator means you're either podcasting, make videos, or you stream live on YouTube." That's not entirely true. If you look at the whole spectrum of content creation, it is massive. It is. It can be so diverse. It's unreal. It can be.
The problem is getting keys because a lot of developers only measure your worth via Twitch or YouTube.
They do. They do. Sadly.
And I do neither. Yeah, I'm thinking of starting a YouTube Shorts channel just for like quick video reviews. But there's a guy out there. His name is Rust Reviews on YouTube. He
Okay.
does the same stuff I do, but he only gets like 6 views on
Problem
his.
is, I've spoken to people about shorts recently, not mentioning any names, but they tried shorts, although their content gets great views, etc. When they do shorts, they do very badly, and the dislike button gets hit hard. But they said their TikTok shorts, they put the same content on TikTok and it done really well. But they said so
I
something.
will not. I will not touch TikTok.
No,
I
it's a rabbit hole. I had it for a period, but I deleted my account because it literally is a scrolling rabbit hole. You watch crap you wouldn't normally watch. You don't know why you're watching it. Honestly, I couldn't believe it.
and I don't deal with Facebook. In fact, I got off Facebook last year for other reasons. But I won't go back on there for
That's fair enough. That is.
well, basically, it was a bunch of people I used to know from 20 years ago. None of them cared about me, so why am I going to waste my time?
Well, a lot of Facebook though, when it's a real profile, all it is people from school, etc. Used to work with, trying to work out and see if they've got a better life than you. That's the kind of crap it is. That's what it is.
Basically, what I figured out.
Because they don't talk to you. They just try and see what you're doing.
Yeah, they don't want to talk to me, so I'm not going to bother posting about my life to a bunch of people that don't care. Frankly, I have better relationships with people on Twitter than I ever did with most of the people on Facebook.
That's a fair point. You've got a couple of questions there. I don't know if you watch anime.
I do certain.
So Masuku says, have you got any favourite Studio Ghibli movies?
Favorite what?
Studio Ghibli movies.
Studio Ghibli. I liked Princess Mononoke. That was good.
I've still got to watch it. The reason he brought it up because the last podcast I did, not the Stubzcast, a gaming conversation with friends, but they were trying to get me into Studio Ghibli. So I've been watching films and loving it. And the one you just mentioned is on my list, and I will be trying it out. I will be.
I actually saw that in theaters when it came out. It was glorious.
A lot of the movies I'm watching are really old, but they're brand new to me, and they even to this day, I thought, they've got serious talent in that studio. Serious talent they have. But I'm quite new to anime films and shows. It's a new genre. It is. So you like that one, did you?
Yeah.
I will add that. I'll find that. See if it's on Netflix. A lot of them have been put onto Netflix. Not all, I can't find all of them, but a lot of them recently are on Netflix, like Ponyo and Lighted Away. I can't remember. Enchanted Away. Lighted Away. I forgot the name of it, but it was amazing. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I can't. Mike P has replied, "What's the best game you've played, or the highest rated in the slush pile?"
Probably a Vampire Survivor clone called Army of Ruin. I will post it in the. It's a couple months old, so I'll post it.
Now, can I ask you a question? Why you say that? Because the reason I say it is because I've got a friend who he's a rogue content creator, and he told me, he says Vampire Survivors, he said, is a good game, but he says a lot of people keep calling any game that is like Vampire Survivor a Vampire Survivor clone. He says there's been games like it for years upon years before Vampire Survivors came along, But
Well,
he
I
says,
didn't even know they existed
but
before. I'm sure there were.
but he
They said
said the reason I understand why people are because it's the game that blew up. He said that's why. He
yeah,
said
I agree with them.
he said
It's really it's really a they call themselves an auto shooter, but Army of Ruin, and I posted it in the general chat so you can post it on YouTube,
it's now in chat, people.
better than Vampire Survivor. Like it's just takes
Army
what
of
Vampire
Ruin.
Survivor did and improves upon it in every possible way.
This on PC, do you know?
Yeah, Army of Ruin. Yes.
I'm gonna have to look this up on Steam. I don't have a Switch, you see.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm looking at it. It looks nice.
Yeah, it's a really it's basically takes what Vampire Survivor does and does it better.
I'm definitely gonna have to check this one out
But
on
unfortunately,
Steam.
it will as I say in my little blurb, it's amazing but dies the day Vampire Survivor comes out, which is a shame. Which is true because once some Vampire Survivors comes out on Switch, all the similar games are going to get overshadowed.
Is it not? Is it? So it's. Oh, I thought it was already on Switch. Is it not then? No.
Oh, it is. It came out in June. Yeah, it came out in June, and Vampire Survivors comes out August 17th.
Okay. Yeah, August 17th. So yeah, people will buy it in their drove. It's not very expensive. You see, Vampire Survivors.
Yeah,
But
this
but
one's $8,
that's
which is a little bit more expensive than Vampire Survivors.
I
But
think it was like £4 in it. It was on Xbox, £4. Say it's a bit difficult because you say stuff in dollars, obviously, and there's a little bit of.
you gotta switch.
It's probably about the same when you work it out.
Well, we also remember that that Vampire Survivor has 2 DLC, so you add them together, it costs the same as Army of Ruin.
Yeah, that's true. It does look good. I'm looking at it on your website now. And while I'm there, actually, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at the desktop view. Yeah, it's a nice looking site. It is. It looks very nice. It looks very nice on the Google Chrome browser. It does. Now I've seen the mobile view. It looks even better. To be fair, it looks a lot better on the desktop. But everything looks better on desktop. To be fair, it does. Oh, a nice monitor. That's what I've got. Yeah, sleek.
And then the last game I'll shout out, and I'll post this, is a game last year. I never did a best year thing. I'll do it this year, but because it'll be a full year. My favorite game from last year was a weird title called Needy Streamer Overload. And it is actually a visual novel where your goal is to keep a Twitch streamer from self-deleting. But it is amazing game. It was my favorite game of last year, but I didn't do a end of year retrospective. It actually sold over 1 million copies.
I've just found Army of Ruin on Steam. Yeah, it's gone down very positive. It's got a very positive review in general on Steam. That means it's very good. That does. I'll add that to my wish list. I will. I'll pick that up at some point. I will.
Yeah, so post Needy Streamer Overload. I put it in general chat. Posted in the.
Oh yeah, right. Let's have a look. Let's post it in chat.
That'll be the last game I discuss. It's an interesting game, which actually sold over 1 million copies.
1 million copies. That's actually quite good. Yeah. That's a big figure. That.
Yeah, it actually is a very huge game. I actually own the physical of it.
Nice.
It's called. I think it's a different name in Japan, but I have but essentially Needy Streamer Overload is probably my second highest rated game. So
must play. Yeah.
Are there any more questions?
Where are we? It's a chat. Is there any more questions in chat? But yeah, I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed this chat, and I reckon I could get you on some other podcasts in the future because you seem a very nice guy. You do.
Yeah,
Good chat.
Talk. We'll talk. If you can get me on other podcasts to spread the word, especially about the Switch shovelware stuff, because more people need to know about it and to avoid it. Because that's how these companies survive, is they get unsuspecting people to buy these games.
That's true.
And some of these games actually end up on the bestsellers list.
Yeah, I've heard about that because I think PlayStation changed their rules on that because they were getting complaints about that. They just make the game that cheap, it just bumps right up a list.
Well, that's what used to happen.
Yeah.
Shovelware used to have sales of 1 cent.
That's ridiculous.
Jump up the bestsellers list. So Nintendo changed it: no sales under 99 cents, and then no sales under $2 in the United States. To keep the shovelware stuff out of the bestsellers list, but some stuff still gets on anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's been a fun show tonight. If you you want to tell people where they can find you, because you'll get people listening after the fact.
All right, you can find me 2 places. One at GameSlushPile.com, GameSlushPile.com. GameSlushPile, all one word, and then at GameSlushPile on Twitter.
Nice, because people can check you out after the fact and on audio platforms as well. They can. So yeah, but please check out Mordie. That'd be cool. That will be.
Just type in the Game Slush Pile on Google and it'll come right up. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm here. We'll be in touch.
Thanks for coming on the show. It's been great. It has. And thanks everyone for tuning in. And I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks everyone.
Are we